Robbie, the Faroe Islands after the defeat against Germany, I don't know if it's the best next game to have or the worst next game. What do you think?
Well, I think when you get a defeat like we did against Germany, the good thing about football is that there's always another game, So it would have been very disappointing if we lost on Friday night and then weren't playing for a few months, So listen, it's a challenge now for the players to, try and rectify, what happened during the night. We know that we can't change Friday, but we can certainly help it by getting a good result here.
Now, you went into the dressing room on Friday, and rightly so, as captain, and Shea visited as well. Older players like yourself and Shea, if you pardon me saying that, maybe experience was lacking on Friday. Maybe you needed to say a few words, did you? Yeah,
well, I think as a senior player that you always say a few words. So I think that's a normal thing to do. So listen, I think after the game was very disappointing for everybody. We know that it wasn't good enough. It was certainly embarrassing for everybody that was associated with the team, and we all have to take responsibility for that. So we're all in it together. There's no point in passing the buck and trying to blame this person or that person. We're all here together, and there's only 2 games gone the campaign. So I think we all knew that Germany probably the clear favourites to win the group. So for us, our main aim is Austria and Sweden, but we know it's going to be a tough road, and we knew there was going to be a lot of negativity around the place. And listen, sometimes in life you just have to hold your hand up and say, listen, it wasn't good enough, and you have to accept it. You have to be brave and big, and this is where it separates the men from the boys. So it's important now that the players all pull together, and we'll see now tomorrow between everybody in the squad, who's really in this.
Well, how would you describe the atmosphere in the squad at the moment then? Is it a bit belligerent?
Listen, after a defeat like that, when you play, whether it's international football or you play club level football.
You're coming into it injured, you're taking a painkilling injection, you're going to take the field. Does that bother you that you might get damaged by playing in a game like this, especially on an artificial pitch?
Well, of course, and listen, artificial pitches, you've probably heard me in the past talking about. I don't agree with them. I don't think they should be allowed in these campaigns. We've played 2 now against Kazakhstan and now Faroe Islands. This day and age in football, it shouldn't be allowed. It's not good for players. Certainly players who've got problems with their knees, and of course with Achilles is probably the worst because the hard ground. But listen, I'm not worried one bit if I get injured now. That's being totally honest with you. I don't go into a game ever thinking that if I get injured, I get injured. What can I do about it? But as long as I'm on the pitch and trying to do my best what I can for my country, that's all I'll do.
You've seen this before as well, but the manager, of course, is coming under pressure. It doesn't seem to bother him.
Well, I think if anybody knows the manager and knows and seen what he's done in the game, and for him, he's probably seen this so many times over the years in his managerial career. So it's probably for him. It seems like it's water off a duck's back. But listen, we're all going to get criticised. That's the nature of the game that we're in, and we know that we're in a bubble, and that's going to be the case. But like the manager, of course, has to be seen to be rallying the players around, and if the manager. If you see the manager starting to be under pressure, that can certainly rub off on the players, but he's not like that at all, because I think the experience that he has, and he's probably been through this so many times before.
I want to ask you about the other Robbie Brady. He's one of the exciting talents coming through, a real opportunity for him, and I'm sure you've enjoyed watching him in training. Yeah,
it's been good. Well, I've only trained twice with the lads, so I haven't really. Of course, I've been watching the training, so it's. No, it's good. He's an exciting player. It's important now that when he's back in Man United, that he either be involved or maybe go out on loan again to to push him on even further. So I think the more games you get as a young player, and the experience you get playing in front of crowds, and I think the only better you will become. So he's been great to watch, and he's certainly one for the future. And we need. More Robbie Brady's coming through the ranks now. As I said before, we're not blessed with a massive squad, and we don't have You know, we can't choose from a lot of people that play in the Premiership or the Championship, so we're limited to what players we have, so it's very important that people like Robbie Brady do come through.
Would you take a late winner now, a 1-0, 89th minute, Robbie Keane?
I take 3 points, that's it. I think at the moment that's the most important thing, whether it's the last minute or not, but of course I think we'd all be happy if it was you know, a comfortable win and we wouldn't have to be worrying like we did in Kazakhstan.